Okay, so getting started in child's pose. Bring your hips back to your heels and just let these hips rest. Forehead comes to the ground. Do whatever you like with your arms. You can send them forward to rest on the mat in front of you. But if your shoulders are sore, you might want to take your hands back by your feet so that your arms just rest along the sides of your legs. And just take a few breaths here. And as you do, because you're in this folded up state, you will run into some resistance with your breath. So I would love for you to see if you can still expand through the chest and out through the back of the chest. Just with each inhale, imagine like there's a balloon inside of your chest cavity. And with each inhale, it inflates and stretches your shoulders and your chest. Just taking like 3 or 4 more breaths here before we start to move our bodies. Just move the body with the breath first. And then go ahead and slowly just roll yourself up to seated on your shins here. And then clasp your hands behind your head. And then take a moment here to find that connection, pressing your head back into your hands, and then the shoulder blades slide down the back. So head presses into the hands and there's a bit of tension there. That helps you slide the shoulders down the back, heart moves forward. Elbows are really wide here. See if you can continue making them wider and wider. Now, see if you can take your left elbow up toward the ceiling and your right elbow down toward the floor. So really you're just stretching through your left side ribs and maybe like your armpit area. And then bring this back through center and just go the other way. Again, looking for a stretch just through your right side. And it feels in my body like my right elbow is moving up toward like the place where the wall and the ceiling meet. And then my left elbow is moving down toward where the floor and the wall meet. And then come back up. Press that head back into your hands once again. Open up as wide as you can. And we'll let this be an inhale. So take a great big inhale here. And then as you exhale, round the spine a bit, round all of this forward. Your elbows probably won't touch, but imagine if they could. And then bring your chin in toward your chest so the back of the neck is long. Exhale. Inhale, open back up. And exhale, close it down. Take a few of these and go with your own breath rhythm. So maybe you want to go a little faster or slower. Go at whatever speed works for you. Let's do 2 more exhales. End back in that inhale position after your last exhale. And then see if you can flow this a bit side to side a little bit more. So inhale and take that take the left elbow up toward the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, go the other way. And take a few breaths here. Going back and forth, alternating on your own breath. Just seeing if we can open up these intercostal muscles that will help you get a deeper breath. All right, go ahead and extend your arms out long. Give yourself some Diana Ross and lobster claw while you're in here. Inhale and take these arms back up, just join the palms. And exhale, bring the palms out and down, touch the floor. Inhale, take everything back up, lift the palms toward the ceiling, lift the gaze up maybe too, join the palms above the head. And then exhale, put the backs of the hands together and act like you're pressing something away as you take your fingertips down toward the floor. Inhale, lift back up. And exhale and lower. Yeah. All right. Go ahead and come off your shins. If you need to put your knees back on, just go ahead and stand on the ball of one foot. Engage your knee. I always have to put my knees back on these days. Okay. So let's do some folding chairs so that we can get our hips involved in this party. So again, for whatever reason, my hands are a little bit more forward, and that makes more sense for me because I like to do my little dip here, but you don't have to do the dip. You can just come forward and back and forward and back. So all I really, really want for you is just to glide the hips and shoulders together and have this nice rhythm through your back. You can even kind of make it more wavy if you want. You know, you could even put a little baby up dog in here if you want. Instead of a little chaturanga like I always do. It feels pretty good. I got a little crack out of my lower back actually. Okay, go ahead and land in child's pose. And then stretch your sides again. Walk your hands over to the left. Take your right hand and see if you can stack it on top of the left. If that just really doesn't work for you, then come as close as you can to it. So you just have this really great stretch coming through on the right side. Make your hips feel heavier to the right. Breathe into your ribs. And then go ahead and head the other way when you're ready to. Trying again to stack the left hand on the right, but that's a pretty big stretch and you might not want it, but I'm trying for big stretches on your side, so do what you can with it. All right, go ahead and take this to center. Come back to all fours. Put the hands more underneath the shoulders if you're like me and you take them out forward for that move. And then go ahead and lift your left hand up. And then we'll take 3 of these before we settle in. So as you exhale, thread the needle, take this left hand through the space. And then inhale and come back up. And exhale down. Last one, this time we'll stay. Inhale. And exhale, come on down. Back of left hand rests on the floor. And we're trying for separation between the shoulder blades, and we're also trying for a bit of space between the left ear and the left shoulder too. I like to take my right hand and kind of stack it on top of the left, and then you just slide it a bit forward. So like your left fingertips end up by the heel of your right hand.
So you have two long arms. Yeah, there you go. And you might not like that, but I like it, so that's me. And then you can breathe into the back of your heart. Imagine those shoulder blades separating. Imagine all the muscles on the top of the left shoulder relaxing. Breathing into your stretch, just letting the whole upper left body melt into the ground with the breath. Okie doke. Let's do the other side. Go ahead and bring your right hand back toward your face. That can help you push up into all fours. And we'll do the same move on the other side. So lift the right arm, and we'll do 3 and settle on the third. So exhale and bring it down, thread it through. See where you land, see how it feels. Come back up, inhale. Land. And then one more, inhale, send it up. And go ahead and find your pose this time. Again, looking to get a little bit toward the back of the shoulder. You can even kind of lean toward the right a little bit and it will help you. And then you're separating your shoulder blades and your right ear is moving down toward the mat. So there's also separation between the right earlobe and the right shoulder. And then again, you can Pac-Man your hands and just kind of let your left hand move a little bit more forward so the fingertips of the right hand touch the heel of the left. Take 3 more breaths here. And then again, take your left hand toward your face. That'll help you push up into all fours. And then go ahead and take a few rounds of cat-cow here, inhaling to look up toward the ceiling and send your tailbone toward the ceiling. And exhaling to round the spine and look up and in at your belly button. Inhale and open back up into a cow pose. Exhaling into a cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Couple more. All right, go ahead and come back to a neutral spine. This one will be kind of fun. So what we'll do here, I'll show you once so you can just kind of go with it. From all fours, you'll step one of your feet back. I'm stepping my right foot back so the pinky toe edge of my right foot is parallel with the end of my mat. And then I'm taking this right arm up. I'm inhaling, 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 inhaling. Exhale to bring it all back. Inhale, other foot back. Inhale, 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 inhale. Exhale. You could even put a cat pose in here, I guess, if you wanted to. Inhale and send one foot back. That arm goes up. And if balance is a challenge, then here, excuse my butt, but I'll put it this way so you can see. When you send one foot back, you can put it out a bit. So that you're not walking a tightrope. Does that make sense? Yeah, that looks better. There you go. just do a few of these and then let your body move the way that it wants to move. Again, just breathing into your ribs and just kind of building on the work that we've been doing to open up the chest area. So your lungs can fill with breath. All right, go ahead and finish up what you're doing. And then let's get into the hips a little bit more. Kind of feeling the same sequence that we did last week. So let's go ahead and do a pigeon pose. Send your right foot forward, or your right knee, I guess, really. And then walk that left foot back. And you can stay up on your fingertips like this if you want to. It kind of makes the pose more powerful. You can't really rest in it as much. But it does allow you to get really heavy and just kind of plunk down into your hips, which might feel good. Option B is just to come down on forearms. Decide what works for you. I'm actually going to stay up here. And take a few breaths here. Bring your attention into that back leg, and if you haven't already, tuck your toes under and see if you can walk the back knee any further back. And we'll just take a few more breaths here, breathing into your hips. Nice big full deep breath. Take one more breath here. And then go ahead and plant your paws and move into downward facing dog. You can do it nice and slowly. Walk it back. And you can take your dog for a walk really quick if you want. Stretch up and out of your shoulders too, into the backs of your legs. And then now go ahead and step that right foot forward, but it's going to come to the outside of your hands. And then drop down onto your left knee. And so basically this might be your pose, and there's really nothing wrong with it. Ways to get deeper into your hips are to take these right toes, and instead of leaving them at like 12 o'clock, you could send it to like 1 or 2, and then this knee will more easily fall out. That might not feel good to you, so you could always not do that. And just taking a few breaths here, also bring your attention over into your left front of your hip. Don't let there be any pain there, but do let there be some sensation. I've been trying to learn a little bit more about joints and how they work and the cartilage and how you can save it as you age. And it's a lot like weight-bearing exercise is for keeping bones strong. If you put a little stress on the areas where the joints are, it'll actually inspire cartilage to either stay or grow. So if you feel a little stress in that area, that's good. Pain is not good. Okie doke. From here, go ahead and back out. I like to walk my hands back so I get out of my hips a little bit, and then just take this right knee back to meet the left and come into child's pose. And again, if you want to take these hands and just bring them back by your feet so you're just more like a little bean shape, then that's great.
Okay, let's go ahead and move this party to the other side. So left foot, left knee forward toward the heel of the left hand. Find the pigeon pose that works for you.
Tuck your back toes under, walk the back knee to an acceptable distance for you. So there's enough stress there that you feel it, but again, it's not crazy. Hands can stay right under your shoulders, so you can just kind of move around a little bit in your upper body. You can stretch your neck here. If you want to come down onto forearms, go ahead and do that too. There's nothing in the world wrong with that. Especially if it's tighter over here, it might feel better to just lower down. But I leave that to you. Your only real job is to breathe. Allowing the front of your right hip to open and the left hip to stretch. Take 2 more breaths here. Next up is downward dog. When you're ready, go ahead and set your paws the way you want them. I like to walk this back knee in a little bit. And then come back into your downward dog. Again, it doesn't have to be a perfect dog. Any upside down V shape will work. Just make sure you're pushing up and out of your shoulders. So you're maintaining the strength and the stretch there. And opening up through the backs of the legs. And then next stop is a little dragon pose. So you're going to go ahead and take this left foot once again forward and step it to the outside of your left pinky. Drop your right knee down. You can untuck your toes or leave them tucked. And then again, if your toes probably land near the 12 o'clock mark, which is fine. And actually the classical version of the pose is to leave that forward, but it's a nice little escape hatch to take the toes over to like 11 or 10. About 11 o'clock should do it. And then you can let that knee fall out a little bit more. You can come down onto forearms if that works for you. If it doesn't, don't. And then again, go into your right hip and just acknowledge whatever is going on in the front of the right hip. And on a cellular level, you're actually inspiring more strength and growth of good stuff for your joint. But just make sure it doesn't burn or there isn't a lot of pain. Shouldn't be a crazy, crazy amount of sensation, but definitely something. And then just breathe. Give it 3 more deep breaths here. And then go ahead and come back onto your hands if you went onto forearms. Walk the back foot in if you're pretty deep into your hips, and then send that left knee back to meet the right. And again, just arrive in a child's pose, whatever makes sense for you. Hands forward, hands back, whatever works. And just breathe into your hips. Imagine that balloon is down in your lower body now, and with each inhale, you can expand your hips and your back in all directions. And then go ahead and come on up to seated on your shins. And then from here, let's go ahead and come to seated on your booty. Take your legs wide. Actually, let's do this one first. Put the soles of the feet together. Make sure you're sitting up on top of your sitting bones, and if you need to sit on something, then do that. Because that will help with your hips and opening them up. And then just go ahead and fold yourself over. Just let your feet go to the place that they want to be. So sometimes it's more comfortable to have the heels closer to the groin, and sometimes it's more comfortable to have them away. I've got mine kind of in the middle. Definitely place your feet where they feel the most comfortable so that you can roll yourself forward and get a nice long line through your back, so that there's lots of openness in the lower back. With each exhale, just imagine the spine just bending a little bit more and more. Couple more breaths here. One more exhale. And then go ahead and bring this up to vertical. And then take your left leg long and bring your right foot in toward the thigh. And then to start with, so we'll do a couple of things, and there's subtle differences in your legs, and I'll let you figure it out because really your hip girdle will tell you what to do. So in the first one, we'll do a side bend. So go ahead and take this left hand inside or outside of the left leg. It's not really going to matter because this is another nice long stretch for your right side. So you're just gently taking these right fingertips toward the left toes. But that's not really what you're going for. What you're really going for is a big long line through your whole right side. So you can lean back a little bit even, and then find a nice lift through your right ribs so that you can open up the right side body. And your left hand is down here just providing a brace so that you can allow this right side to open up. Looks good. Okay, go ahead and come back up to vertical with your torso. And now here's what I mean about figuring out for yourself about your hips. Now you'll have to take this whole torso and turn it toward the left leg. So I need to adjust my hips to do that. So you probably do too. Take your chest toward your left leg now and just see if you can fold over toward this left leg. It's Janu Shirshasana, which actually means head to knee in Sanskrit. So you can go ahead and let your head move toward the top of your leg, but we're not all built the same. So for me, it's more like a head to shin. But let that right hip get heavy. And let your whole right side release here. All right, go ahead and come back up. Let's do that much on the second side. So go ahead and send this right leg forward and the left foot comes in. And we'll start with the side stretch. So organize your hips in whatever way you need to be able to facilitate the side stretch. And then again, you're just looking for, in your own personal left side, a nice deep stretch through the side waist and maybe through the ribs. You can look up toward the ceiling if you like, or down toward the floor, whatever feels good. And just let the left side of your body open up. Take one more deep breath here. And then next up is Janu Shirshasana. So go ahead and come back up to vertical and then fix your hips in whatever way makes sense for you so that you can orient your chest over this right leg. And then go ahead and fold yourself forward over the leg. And just taking several breaths here, stretching through the back of the right leg and through the left hip and left lower back. Allowing those spots to get heavy so that there's a stretch through your QL. A few more breaths here. One more exhale. And then walk this back up to vertical. Send your left leg out. Go ahead and let the legs be not perfectly together. Maybe even mat width or slightly less. And then go ahead and start by, here, let's do half of a Pilates move in here. So what we'll do is inhale and take the arms up. And then as you exhale, you'll dive forward, forward, forward. Round your belly, suck your belly up and in so that your back rounds. And you pulse, pulse, and then come back up. And exhale down. Inhale, take this up. Exhale, round it forward. My palms go forward and down. And then as you're rounding down, pull in with your belly button so that your abdominals are helping to stretch your back, if that makes any sense. Inhale to come back up. Exhale to take the hands down. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, bring it forward. Pull belly in, stretch. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, hands come down. One more, inhale up. Exhale, dive it forward, belly in. Think of like a candy cane. And then inhale and come back up. Exhale, take your hands down. Okay, now let's do both of these. These are all Pilates moves, actually, but I think they serve our intentions well. So this one is saw. So basically what you'll do is go capital T arms. This is the inhale. And then as you exhale, you're gonna twist and then imagine like your left pinky can saw off your pinky toe. And you're gonna take this right hand and take the palm back like you're pressing into the ceiling and you're reaching. So left fingertips are outside of right pinky toe, right hand is back and pushing up toward the ceiling. Inhale back to starting position. Exhale, right pinky toe toward left pinky toe, right pinky finger, sorry. Left hand goes back toward the ceiling. Inhale, capital T arms. Exhale over to the right. Right hand goes towards ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Right palm back. You can take your gaze back toward your bum too, which might help. Exhale. Look back toward your left hip. Okay. And then let's end on the left, since I think we started on the right. Okay, go ahead and bring your hands down. Just take a moment here. You can give yourself some shoulder circles if you like. Might feel good to open things up. Do, 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 do. Whatever works. All right, and then last twist here. Your legs are in the same position. You're just gonna go capital T arms, and then see what you can do. The whole trick behind this is lifting the whole rib cage up and keeping it up as you twist. So this is the inhale, and then exhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, exhale. Good jobs. And you're just trying to get a little bit more, drawing the shoulder blades together behind you to open up through the chest as you twist. All right. And then go ahead and finish this. Go ahead and bring the soles of the feet back together. I'm kind of pulling something, so I'm leaning back a little bit and stretch your neck. All right, let me do a quick time check. Okay. So from here, let's go ahead and come down onto our backs. Onto your back you go. And just take a moment here. We'll do some bridge stuff, some bridging. But let's do it in different ways. So I'm thinking the rainbow arms will help to stretch us out. Then we'll do a static one where we can stretch our chests a little bit more. So let's start with those two and see what happens. So bring the heels as close to the bum as makes sense for you. Hands go down by the hips. And then let's inhale and take the arms up. Exhale and take the hips up. Inhale, bring the arms back down to the starting position. Exhale, lay the spine back down, hips come back down. Inhale, arms go up, backs of hands on the floor. Exhale, hips lift into the bridge. Inhale, arms go back to where we started. Exhale, hips go back to where we started. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, hips go up. Inhale, arms go down. Exhale, hips go down. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, hips go up. Inhale, arms go down. Exhale, hips go down. All right, go ahead and hug your knees in toward your chest and just take a moment here. Releasing the low back. Cup the hands with the knees, make circles with the knees. You can take the knees apart and then draw them back together, making individual circles with the knees. And then go the other way with those circles. Okay, so this time, go ahead and plant your feet back down on the mat. With an exhale, so take a moment here and just really set your feet for a moment. You might even lift your toes and just feel the big toe ball and the pinky toe ball and the heels. Just press those all evenly down and just notice what that does to your hips and how it kind of fires everything up. That's good, that's what you want. What that will also translate to is that your knees don't really move. So try not to make your knees move, but try to do that from the foundation of your feet being really solid. And then go ahead and inhale and lift these hips. And then clasp your hands underneath the small of your back and roll your shoulders, tuck them underneath so that you have a nice long back of your neck and your shoulder blades are drawing together behind you. So maybe this is your pose and you want to stay here. You can also, if you want to, you have to adjust the grip of your hands a little bit, but you can actually set your booty down on your hands that are still clasped. And by pinning your hands down in this way, you can actually stretch your chest a bit more. It's kind of a passive chest opener. And then go ahead and let yourself out of this. Lift your hips a little bit so you can free your hands. And then once again, hug your knees in toward your chest. Maybe you bring your face in toward your knees. Do whatever you want for the next 30 seconds. Just do whatever your body is asking you to do. Make individual circles with the knees again. Maybe you keep the knees together and make big circles with the knees together. Just do what feels good to you in this moment. Okay, and then go ahead and interlace your fingers behind your head once again. And then we'll just do some really simple bicycle ab work. So from here, there are literally hundreds of different ways you could do these, I guess. You could keep your feet on the floor if you're kind of tired, because all I'm really trying to do here is keep, again, the hips and the shoulders moving, but now we're going to cross the body. So you'll exhale and take right elbow toward left knee. Inhale, come back to the starting position. Exhale the other way. So let's call this door number one. If you're pretty gassed and you're kind of done and you just want to chill out a bit, toward the end of the practice, you can stick here, and this is a great place. You should still be able to isolate those abdominals and kind of give them a little bit of work, but it's not like crazy style, right? If you want to, you can make this more like long legs where the extending leg points out. And you kind of keep everything off the ground. Choose the level of spice that works for you. See if you can do 10 more total, 5 more on each side. Well done. Go ahead and let that go. Hug your knees back in toward your chest. Actually, let the feet go onto the mat. Let them be like mat width. They're really wide. And then just windshield wiper your knees from one side to the other. Okay, let's do one more and then we'll call it good. Draw these knees up. And so the knees are pointing toward the ceiling. And just take a moment here and see if you can find an action of drawing in with your abdominals, but leaving a little bit of lumbar curve. I don't even have enough to show you because my back's so flat. Just see if you can feel it in your own body where there's a little bit of space in your lower back, even though your knees are moving up. This is the basic concept behind a neutral spine. So theoretically, you should be able to keep your hip girdle in this position and just tap these toes down toward the floor and lift the knees back up. So maybe that's your work for today. It actually took me a long time to find those little muscles down there. They're really, really low down by the pubic bone. And if you can smooth them down toward your belly button, you can keep your lower lumbar curve. And again, it's a really subtle move, but it actually took me a long time to find it. So if you're like, what? I can't find it, then don't worry. Don't worry, it's there, you will. All right, go ahead and just dispense with that work. So send your legs up toward the ceiling. Your low back will end up pressing into the mat. Press your arms down into the mat too. You've got your legs up toward the ceiling. And then just see what you can do here. You're pressing your arms down into the mat and you're just imagining that you can hit the ceiling with your toes. So again, it's not a very big move, but we're using those really, really low abdominals. And you also are using your arms. I think this might be a really good move for getting rid of bingo wings, actually, the flappy arms. So definitely you're using your triceps to make this happen. All right, whenever you're over it, go ahead and just let your legs stay up toward the ceiling. If you want to take a plow pose here and take these legs up and over, go for it. Or you can just leave your legs up toward the ceiling, whatever works. Yeah, take a shoulder stand if that works for you. Looks great. Squeeze your legs together. Good job, Care. Keep squeezing them together and then pushing the balls of the feet toward the ceiling. That should help give more bones to the center of your pose. Yep, I can see it from here. Good job. Couple breaths here. Whenever you're ready to come down, go ahead and come down. And we have 8 minutes left together in total. So whenever you're ready to, give yourself any last minute moves that will make sense for your body in this practice. And if you are done with this practice, go ahead and find Shavasana. Whatever that looks like for you, you can leave your knees bent if you prefer, so that your low back is supported. You can also extend your legs, but put something under your thighs, which might feel nice. Just find a nice neutral place for every body part. And then come back to your breath. Watch that breath move into your body and out of your body. See if you can, as your breath moves in, imagine the diaphragm moving down toward your belly button. And as you exhale, the diaphragm just snaps back to its original position. So there's absolutely no effort to the exhale. It just falls out of you, and even the diaphragm muscle doesn't have to do anything but go back to where it started. Inhaling, the diaphragm moves down toward the belly button so that the lungs, which are above it, can fill with air. And exhaling, the diaphragm moves back up as the lungs deflate. Just see if you can follow the breath in your own body. Just kind of follow the diaphragm and how it moves up and down. Start to deepen your breath. Wiggle those fingers and toes, do whatever is necessary to just kind of bring yourself back to this space. And then in whatever way is the most graceful for you, come to a comfortable seat. And then finding that comfortable seat, just bring your hands to your heart. And just spend a moment here with yourself before moving on with your Friday. Take a moment to appreciate that breath that flows through you and your body for supporting all your movements and for even telling you when it needs help sometimes. And as always, I appreciate you. Thank you for spending this time with me. Namaste. All right, let me turn this recording off.